So I recently caught up with the series Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I talked about this series a few months ago in a video called Manga vs Anime, which is better. In this video, I pretty much trashed on the Frieren anime because I didn't like how it started, and then I read the manga, which I thought was pretty good. Well, I said good at the time, but what I really meant to say was the manga is better than the anime, but that's still not saying much because there's still a lot of manga that's better out there. But before you make a comment saying that I'm wrong or saying my viewpoint doesn't matter, please keep watching because my viewpoints have definitely changed since that video, and I'll explain them here. For those who haven't read or watched Frieren Beyond Journey's End, it's a story about a group of heroes who save their land from this villain called the Demon King that's been wreaking havoc for decades. Yes, I said saved, because this series takes place after they defeat the main villain, hence the subtitle Beyond Journey's End. In this group of heroes, there's this elf named Frieren, and in this world, elves age very slowly. They never grow old, and they can live on for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. But this isn't to say that they can't die. They can die if they get killed, but chances are, if they've lived for thousands of years, they'll have built up a lot of magic experience to kill their foes. That's pretty much the basic premise, but this premise outlines a lot more within the series. You see, in life, people are born, they live, and they die, within the span of most likely less than 100 years. And more if they're lucky. What does this mean for Frieren, an elf who can live on for hundreds of years? This means that with the friends she makes that are humans, she'll have to witness them grow old and pass away. Dwarves are another race in this world that live for hundreds of years, but their lifespans are still far shorter than those of elves. This story touches on the value of life and how important it is to have good relationships, because you never know when they'll disappear or be taken away. Well, as Frieren witnesses the deaths of one of the members in her original party of heroes, she goes and makes new acquaintances, who include a mage named Fern and a warrior named Stark. Fern is Frieren's student, and Stark is someone they meet along their journey. It almost seems like Frieren is making her own party of heroes, with the people in her party being similar to the people in her former party, with some differences. They also meet a priest named Sign, but he's in their group sometimes and sometimes he's not. He can be pretty unpredictable, much like Hyder was in Frieren's original party. I was never really into the fantasy genre of anime. It would be really hard for me to find an anime that I would enjoy in that genre. Shield Hero was the only anime that I enjoyed in the fantasy genre as of the last few years, but I gave Frieren Beyond Journey's End a shot because it had very great reviews. Well, as I said in my manga versus anime video, I gave it a shot and didn't like it because there was no quote-unquote action. Now what did I mean by this? I meant events that would be really shocking, such as a plot twist or a crazy fight scene. Something like how all the heroes turn against Naofumi in Shield Hero in the beginning of the anime. But I didn't see anything action-worthy, and what I was really confused about were all the time skips. I couldn't tell if we were in the present, past, or future. Everything looked the same, and it didn't help that Frieren looked the same no matter how old she was. I went over to read the manga months after I watched the anime, and it was pretty good. But the reason for that was because I could go at my own pace with the manga and get to the parts where it was supposed to be quote-unquote really good. I was just very impatient with the show. Well, I changed that mindset and figured out that it wasn't the story that was the problem, and there wasn't any moment that I needed to get to in order to say the story was good. My mindset was the problem. I was looking at this story in the wrong way, and my expectations of it were set way too high, thinking it could be something more action-packed and plot-driven like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is my favorite anime of all time. This story is not your traditional hero's journey or person beats up the bad guy's story. This is a story that asks the question, what happens next after the main villain is beat? It's actually something that takes place after the traditional narrative, and this is something I've never seen before in any story. So in reality, I didn't really know what to expect, because I've never read or watched anything like it before. As I was continuing to read the manga, my expectations changed. I wanted this series to surprise me. I wanted it to catch me off guard, and it sure did. All the events Frieren and her party go through are very intriguing, and are all very unique experiences. I like the development of characters like Fern and Stark, and the development of Frieren is amazing, as she starts to break out of her shell more and tries to become closer with her party. Whether that will end up badly for her or not is still a question not answered, but the point is, it shouldn't matter because they're all living in the present, not in the future. Time is a main aspect of this series. From the beginning to where I'm currently at with chapter 140, almost 100 years go by. That's kind of insane if you think about it in a real life context. I don't think any story this short goes at this fast of a speed. It really makes use of the time skips. I think it's really cool how the author uses time to their advantage and made a character that has to adapt to these different time periods as she's navigating her way through life. Even at a few hundred years old, Frieren is still out there looking for her purpose and is still seeking a higher goal. It proves that life really is like an open field, not a maze where you're trying to get to your destination. In Frieren's life, she doesn't have a destination. She only does what makes her happy. And that includes acquiring more knowledge on magic and meeting new people, and forming closer bonds with others. She never worries about what she'll be like in the years to come. She lives life how she wants to, and goes at her own pace. This is definitely something that applies to today's society. In today's society, we think that getting money fast or getting a dream job fast is the way to go, and quick fame is always the answer. We also think that if we get a dream job or have enough money to support us and our loved ones, we'll be happy. That's not always the case, because in some cases, our dream job may be something we hate. And while money can be something that supports us, when we're supported, what will we do then? I'm not telling you guys to not chase your goals. If you have them, you should absolutely chase them and do it as soon as you can. But you also have to remember that the journey matters too, and you can't ignore something like that when chasing your goals. You need to be happy currently. And sure, money can make you happy, but long-term wise, you don't need money to be a happy person. This is the main message that Frieren Beyond Journey's End tried to teach me, and I'm glad I got this message, because I would have missed out on a really great story. And this is why, if you haven't watched or read Frieren Beyond Journey's End, you should definitely give it a viewing. As usual for these series analysis videos, I will give a rating for this series, and that will be a 9 out of 10. Great series, but it will take you some time to understand what it's truly about. But if you feel like you want to drop this series when first viewing it, trust me, you should keep watching or reading it. You can even reread manga chapters or rewatch anime episodes just to understand more of what's going on. You can read this series on the Viz Manga app, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll if you're interested. That's going to be it for this video. Just know that this is all my opinion. These aren't cold hard facts, so if you agree with them, cool. If not, that's okay too. If you want, you can let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more content like this. And also, if there's a series that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments as well. And until then, I'll see you all in the next one.